paper route, going to school, hanging out with my brothers and sisters, working in the garden. My parents were teachers, and I was the oldest. And I think from an early age, I was responsible. But I would say junior high, I started to get into rock and roll more so than my parents' music. I think it was the Kinks record, the double live album, One from the Road. But I have the earliest memories of just being like slayed by guitar. And I had it on cassette, and I listened to it all the time. And my mother has this story that I don't really remember all that well. But she came to pick me up from school, and we had a station wagon, and it had a cassette player in it, and I was begging to put the cassette in, listen to it on the way home. And I think I put the cassette in. That part I remember, but I don't remember saying this. My mother alleges I said, Mom, I got rock and roll coming out of me. So I guess that's, in her mind, that's where it started. So when it was time to go to college, I went to a local school, only like 20 miles from home. A school my dad had gone to, actually. Providence College was the name of the school. And I think I didn't really know what I was going to do. Like I said, my whole family was teachers, so I thought I was just going to be a teacher, following the path. But I didn't really start the band until I finished college. We had been practicing a little bit and playing. We finally made a practice tape, and we came up with the name. The name just kind of appeared. Six Finger Satellite was the name of the band. And it was after a practice one night. We got back to a guitar player's house. His name was John, and he and I were going over the practice tapes, and we kind of sequenced one, pulled it all together, and we were going to start giving it to our friends to listen to. I was like, we need a name. I think he came up with the name, but we had been messing around with it. I don't know if we've been messing around with that name or whatever, but it just came out and we stuck with it. And we started playing. We played a house show and a party in the basement at school. I was already out of college, working and thinking about going to grad school. And it just kind of steamrolled from there. We were very committed and we practiced a lot. We had an original lineup, and then we had a couple changes, and we got a new drummer and the usual things that bands go through early on. And we played locally in Providence a lot, and in a certain way we're really kind of feeling our way around. There were a lot of bands. It was a very fertile kind of local scene. You had a lot of peers and a lot of people to play with and talk about music, and it was almost like another group of people that I discovered with common interests, and we had a common language, and that was music.
So my dad was in a band. The idea of him being in a band didn't really he always was like, Dora, listen to my songs, or like, this is my band. And I'm like, and as a 6-year-old, I didn't really have much appreciation for his music because I was, you know, into Kesha and Lady Gaga circa 2008, you know? So also as I got older, I was more aware of my dad's band. So I decided to do a little digging on the internet and really try to figure out who was he? Like, who's this man standing before me and is like, what was he doing? So I looked on the internet and I found all these videos and interviews and live performances and photos and articles about my dad's band. And I'm like, holy crap, this is real. Like, his band was real, you know, like my dad was in a band. But what the coolest thing was, is he showed me this one video of a music video he had made for one of his songs. And Beavis and Butthead took it and incorporated it into one of their shows. And it was just so cool seeing like this well-known cartoon that people, like so many different people watched, just talk about my dad's music video on MTV. And it was just like, what?
So it's been very rewarding watching Dora kind of grow up, so to speak.
So as I was growing up, I went through so many different phases. You know, it's normal for children to go through like, oh, I like math, or oh, I like science, I want to be a scientist. And then my junior year photography teacher told me, he's like, Dora, you should take my film class. So senior year comes along, I go in this film class, and at first I'm like, this is all right. This is just like an elective that I'm gonna get for graduation. Our final project comes along, and it's this experimental film. And I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be awesome. And I had this great idea. I had this vision for what I wanted to do, and I did it. I did it all by myself. I planned it out. I filmed it. I did editing the way I wanted to do it, and then it was like a breakthrough moment for me. Like I spent 3 weeks editing this short film, and it wasn't a chore. It was like, I'm gonna go work on my editing. I don't want to do my other homework. I want to work on my editing. I want to stay home instead of seeing my friends to edit. You know, it was like, it was something that I legitimately loved to do.
You know, I think you always want your kids to be successful and find something they like and love and can dig into. And watching Dora get involved with creative process, film, editing, music, I think she's just starting to scratch the surface. The creation of art is kind of a lonely existence, but it's a very rewarding existence. So watching her dig in and explore and learn methods, approaches, but also learn about herself and develop an inner voice to question and to explore what it means to be human is super cool. And I'm glad I get to be a part of it.